What do you mean? Right, Britney's.
He's Britney's baby daddy.
Yeah.
He's getting
Yes, that's
driving
right.
a Ferrari right now at Britney's cash.
Absolutely. He's the bird.
Yeah. Plus, you got the Britney Spears, which is a double fist pump.
Is that a good thing?
Oh, yeah.
No.
You know how much Rachel must be in
he
bed?
hasn't said one thing the whole time. We've been here for 16 hours. He has
She's
not
hot
said one word, and that was the one thing that made a sound come out of James.
She's got two things that the men enjoy. She's hot and she's crazy. She's probably fantastic in bed.
Is Britney?
But still hot? Yeah. There was a photo of her recently on Instagram. She still looks hot as
I thought
she was in a bikini. Think she fell apart?
Okay.
Might be. I've never seen her in real life. You don't know until you see him, right?
Right. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I guess I haven't.
That's her right now.
That's her right now?
Yep.
Well, that's a lot.
Right now. No makeup, no filter.
No, I was going to say, that's a lot of.
Look at that picture right there.
That's a lot
that one looks crazy as
well,
she got some crazy videos
I do
recently.
not find.
Oh, she's crazy as man.
Joe Rogan has once again stirred up the internet by asking the kind of questions most people in Hollywood would rather avoid. This time, the conversation has pulled together names nobody expected to hear in the same sentence: the Kardashians, Britney Spears, and alleged links being discussed around the Epstein files. Online, people have been pointing to resurfaced documents, old connections, and industry rumors that are making some viewers look at Britney Spears' story in a completely different way. For years, the public was told one version of what happened to Britney: fame, pressure, paparazzi, a public breakdown, and then the conservatorship. But now, some are asking whether that was the full story, or whether something much bigger was happening behind the scenes. What reportedly caught Joe Rogan's attention was not just Britney's name being brought up in these online discussions. It was the pattern of powerful people who seemed to appear around her life whenever things started falling apart. When names like the Kardashians, Lou Taylor, and other entertainment industry figures come into the conversation, people begin questioning whether Britney's conservatorship was simply a family matter or part of a darker Hollywood power structure, and that is where things get uncomfortable. Why would Britney Spears' name allegedly appear in private conversations tied to powerful circles? Why were people discussing matters connected to her personal life, legal battles, medical situation, and career decisions? And why do similar industry figures seem to show up around celebrities who later face very public struggles? For most people, Britney Spears is remembered as the pop princess who suddenly unraveled in front of the world. The media showed the shaved head, the paparazzi chaos, the emotional breakdowns, and the legal control that followed. That became the official public image. But Rogan's line of questioning pushes people to look deeper. Was Britney truly falling apart on her own? Or was she being pushed, controlled, and trapped by a system much larger than herself? As online discussions around the Epstein documents resurfaced, some users began connecting Britney's name to conversations involving medical and entertainment figures. One name mentioned in these theories is Dr. Mark S. Traeger, who has been connected in public discussions to medical circles that immediately raised eyebrows, because Britney herself has spoken about being placed in psychiatric facilities during her conservatorship. Britney has publicly claimed that she was controlled, medicated, monitored, and denied basic freedoms during that period of her life. And when people revisit those claims today, especially alongside growing questions about how powerful Hollywood networks operate behind closed doors, the entire situation starts to look far more disturbing than the version the public was originally given.
About how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared, and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes, and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad, and my dad only acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away when my kids went home to.
Then the story became even more complicated when the Kardashian connection started entering the discussion. During the Free Britney movement, online researchers and several viral reports began focusing heavily on Lou Taylor. Supporters of Britney claimed that Taylor became one of the most important figures connected to the structure around Britney's conservatorship. Lou Taylor was the head of TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, a management company that worked with major celebrity clients. According to claims repeated by Britney supporters, TriStar allegedly had significant financial involvement in Britney's business empire during that era. And this is where Joe Rogan's line of questioning became more uncomfortable. People began pointing to court filings and business records that reportedly connected Lou Taylor or TriStar to several Kardashian-Jenner-related ventures. Online discussions mentioned links to Kim Kardashian's brands, Kylie Jenner's companies, Kris Jenner's projects, Kendall Jenner's business activity, and even management connections tied to Travis Scott. To many people watching from the outside, it raised a serious question. Was this just normal Hollywood management overlap, or was there a much larger network of influence operating behind multiple celebrity empires at the same time? That is why the conversation did not stay focused only on Britney. Once people started tracing the business relationships, the story widened into something much bigger. It was no longer just about one conservatorship. It became a discussion about money, control, celebrity branding, and the powerful people who often sit behind the public image.
Gotta do something crazy. We were in New York and Britney Spears is in this hotel, locked up, in her room. We know this, there's paparazzi outside.
And so he's like, oh, let's stop by here. We got a ride in a Rolls Royce. We pull up, paparazzi got us getting out.
We go literally hide in a lobby, in a phone booth, wait 10 minutes, and then we come out. And then the next day is like, Kim went to see Britney.
They say in the press that we're there to have dinner with Britney Spears. This whole thing, didn't even happen.
I don't even think she knew Britney at that point.
2 years.
Once people noticed that overlap, social media immediately started asking a bigger question. Was Britney's money, brand, or business structure allegedly being used in ways that quietly helped other celebrity empires behind the scenes? That is, when the internet really lost it. Because at that point, the conversation was no longer only about Britney's conservatorship. People started wondering whether Britney had become a kind of financial engine for powerful Hollywood figures while she was living under strict legal control. According to online discussions, Joe Rogan started paying attention to the story because the timing looked strange to many people. Britney was under a conservatorship for more than a decade. Lou Taylor was reportedly connected to the management side of her business. The Kardashian-Jenner family had business relationships tied to some of the same management circles. And then, on top of all that, online conversations began claiming Britney's name had also appeared around resurfaced Epstein-related discussions. That combination made people stop and ask, how many powerful people were surrounding Britney Spears while she had limited control over her own life? And that question changed the way many people looked at the entire situation. Britney herself has publicly said she felt silenced for years. She claimed she was not allowed to fully tell her own story. She described feeling trapped, medicated, watched, and emotionally worn down while the outside world treated her pain like entertainment. Joe Rogan was not the first person to raise these concerns, but his platform helped push the conversation to a much wider audience. Once he started talking about how powerful entertainment systems can allegedly operate around vulnerable celebrities, people began revisiting Britney's story through a different lens. Instead of seeing it as just another celebrity meltdown, many began seeing it as a possible example of a person being consumed by a machine built to profit from control. Then the Kardashian theories went even deeper. Some online commentators claimed that the Kardashian-Jenner empire allegedly grew financially. During the same years, Britney remained under conservatorship control. Others went further, suggesting that Britney's business money may have been connected in some way to larger celebrity business structures tied to Lou Taylor's network. Lou Taylor has denied the allegations, but the theories continued spreading because people felt there were too many overlapping names, timelines, and business connections to ignore.
The best piece of advice I ever got from a mentor was to just do you. I know that sounds cliche, but it's really not. Just do you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about how other people are doing it. Don't worry about what other people are saying, and don't worry about what other people are saying about you. Just do you.
None of these claims have been proven in court. A lot of what people are discussing still sits in the world of allegations, internet theories, and online speculation. But the reason the conversation keeps spreading is because some of the connections are enough to make people uncomfortable. Viewers keep asking the same question. Why did the same names and business circles seem to appear around Britney during some of the most vulnerable years of her life? And things got even more intense when Joe Rogan started talking about the medication side of the story. Britney has publicly claimed that she was placed on strong medication she did not want to take during her conservatorship. That detail made people revisit the entire situation with a different level of concern. Rogan also compared parts of Britney's story to the way some celebrities are labeled unstable after they stop going along with the system publicly. That conversation became even louder because other major celebrities have made similar claims in the past. Kanye West, for example, has spoken about doctors and people around him allegedly trying to medicate him heavily. Once those comments resurfaced, people online began pointing to what they believed was a pattern. A celebrity starts acting differently in public. The media immediately frames them as unstable. Headlines about mental health take over. Managers, doctors, lawyers, or industry handlers appear in the background. Then, little by little, that celebrity seems to lose control over their money, public image, career choices, or personal freedom. People also brought Michael Jackson into the conversation because he had spoken about being placed on heavy medications as well. Now, that does not prove that every case is connected. It does not mean every celebrity struggle is part of one organized plan. But it does explain why Britney's story continues to disturb so many people. To them, it looks less like a simple case of fame becoming too much and more like a warning about what can happen when a vulnerable star becomes surrounded by powerful people who control the narrative.
And they wanted to medicate me every day. You realize, like, they could have just switched to medication and I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue, right? Yeah. I ain't never been back to the hospital since 2015.
Joe Rogan's main point was simple. Whenever a celebrity goes through this kind of cycle, the public should ask one question first: who profits from it? And when people applied that question to Britney Spears, it hit differently. While Britney was speaking in court and pleading for her freedom, people around her business world were allegedly still making money from the empire built around her name. Then, online researchers brought up another uncomfortable angle. Jeffrey Epstein was reportedly connected to powerful people in media, politics, entertainment, and finance over the years. Because of that, some viewers began wondering whether certain stories about Britney were pushed in a way that made the public dismiss her instead of sympathize with her. That is where the story becomes much darker. Because if someone has influence over your public image, your money, your legal situation, your medical treatment, and the way the media describes your mental state, how are you supposed to defend yourself? That is why Britney's old testimony feels different to many people now. Clips of her begging to speak openly, asking to tell her story, and saying she felt silenced are being watched with a new level of seriousness. Years ago, some people dismissed it as celebrity drama. Now, with so many alleged Hollywood connections being discussed again, people are asking whether Britney was trying to warn the public all along. And somehow, the same kinds of names keep showing up in the conversation. Powerful managers, celebrity business circles, media figures, wealthy insiders, legal teams, and people who know how to protect reputations behind the scenes. That is why Rogan's discussion made people look at this as something bigger than one pop star's personal struggle. To many viewers, it became a question about how Hollywood allegedly works when massive brands, billion-dollar businesses, and powerful people are involved. Because once a celebrity becomes valuable enough, people start asking whether fame turns into something closer to ownership. And maybe that is the most disturbing part of the entire Britney conversation. The possibility that she was publicly asking for help for years while much of the world treated her pain like entertainment. People online have been reacting strongly. Some are saying the media should be held accountable for how Britney was portrayed. Others are saying they always believed she was being mistreated by the very people who were supposed to protect her. Some fans are even revisiting her music, interviews, and old performances, saying the signs were there the whole time. Now, viewers are looking back at old court statements, paparazzi footage, interviews, and headlines with one question in mind. What if Britney Spears was not crazy the way the media made her seem? What if she was reacting to a system around her that nobody wanted exposed? Were the Kardashian-Jenner connections simply business relationships that looked suspicious once people started digging? Or was Britney allegedly caught inside a larger celebrity machine operating quietly behind closed doors? Why did so many powerful names seem to appear around her during the most difficult years of her life? And if her name was allegedly being discussed in circles connected to Epstein-related conversations, what was really happening behind the scenes that the public still does not fully understand? What do you think? Was this just internet speculation? Or is there something deeper here that people should keep questioning? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe for more stories like this.